What up, nerds? Welcome to the channel. My name is Leslie, and today on the Nerdy Narrative, I want to talk about a new release just came out March the 4th from my friends over at Blackstone Publishing. That is Don't Tell Me How to Die by Marshall Karp. This was a new to me author. The publisher, I have been part of a program, an influencer program called Blackstone Insiders. They reached out and let me know that this book was going to be coming out, offered to send me the ARC, actually send me 2 ARCs so I could do a giveaway with a friend, which I did a while back. Oh my goodness, they reached out with this one. I read the book description. It immediately appealed to me because I personally could understand the main character's motivations just from the book description. I want to tell you all about it. Let me start with telling you what this book is about. Don't Tell Me How to Die features the story of Maggie Dunn. She has it all. She's 43. She's already the mayor of the town that she grew up in. She has a wonderful husband who is the surgeon at the local hospital. She has twins, Katie and Kevin. She literally has it all. Unfortunately, she's going to be dead before her next birthday. She has just received the news when we start this book in chapter 1 that she has the same rare blood disease that killed her mother when Maggie was only 17. Coincidentally, her mother was 43 when she found out that she had this disease as well. So Maggie's on a timeline. She knows the amount of time where her mother found out that she had the disease, how long it took, how quickly it worked. She knows she's on a timeline. A timeline for what, you might be asking. Maggie plans to spend every waking minute of the next 3 months searching for the perfect woman to take her place as Alex's wife and Kevin and Katie's mother. Now, you might be wondering why this is so important to her, and I certainly was, and that gets explained in the first part of this book. It's separated into parts, and at first I was like, why are we doing this? But oh my goodness, if you're a fan of Marshall Karp, let me just say, trust the process. You already know this is an amazing author from what I've heard, and I've heard that since I loved this one so much, I'm gonna love other things written by him, and I'm absolutely going to be reading more. So if you've read him, you already know to just go with the flow. I didn't. I was like, what is going on here? But I was completely captured. So this first section, we go into the past. We go back to when Maggie's 17. Her mother has been given a short time left to live. And we go back through those memories with Maggie through her mother's last days. And it is tragic. It's going to tug your heartstrings. I even cried at a couple of parts. And I'm going, my God, this author is ripping my heart out. I thought this was a domestic thriller. What is going on? I'm just over here just ripped apart by the loss of her mother that happened, 26 years ago. And what the author was doing was making sure the reader connected, 1, with Maggie, 2, understood why it was. While it's funny that she's looking for her replacement, it also means so much to her because the women came out of the woodwork after her dad when her mother died. Her and her sister just watched them like I forget, wait, what did they call it? Women would flock to my suddenly single father like stray cats to an overturned milk truck. There was one memory that Maggie talked about where women were coming over with casseroles and dishes, and Maggie's dad, by the way, was a chef at a local restaurant. He was a successful owner of this restaurant, by the way. Or maybe chef is not the right word. At any rate, the man could cook. But all of these women are bringing these dishes. Maggie and her sister would immediately go and put the dish in one of their Tupperware, clean the dish, and immediately give it back to the woman so she wouldn't have an excuse to come back the next day. There was a horrible experience with one of these women, which gets recounted, and then you understand Maggie under no circumstances wants that to happen to her kids, her husband, because she loves them so much, and you get wrapped up in it. I was so caught up in Maggie, her process. What was it going to be to select this next woman? And that's what I got in section 2, and it was so funny. There was a lot of humor to this book. I love Maggie as a character. She just had a great sense of humor. She really did have a good outlook, and I guess that's because she lived her life constantly waiting for that other shoe to drop, but she didn't let it stop her either. I mean, again, remember all of the things that she had done by the time she was 43? Holy smokes, I don't even think I had my life figured out by the time I was 43. I mean, I'm 48. I still don't think I have my life figured out. So Maggie delights readers with her plan. She starts putting things into motion. And then all of a sudden, I completely forgot this was a thriller. You'll never figure it out. There's no way I can give it away. You will never figure out where this is gonna go, what happens. I loved it so much. I'm telling y'all, this was one of those books that if I could read it again for the first time, I would, because I was so amused at my own, what's the word? Astonishment? Shocked? I can't even put into words how surprised I was by what happened. And even as things were kind of coming together and I'm going, oh, this is the big thing, this is the big thing, this is the big thing. It just, I'm like, my heart rate's up just thinking about my journey through this book. So I absolutely loved it. I would recommend this. If you love thrillers, for one, you would love this book. If you're already a fan of Marshall Karp, you're absolutely, I mean, you've probably already purchased this book. You pre-ordered it. You got it the day it came out on March the 4th, which, by the way, if you want to talk about what happened, let me know. You can type spoiler and then hit enter a bunch of times so no one accidentally comes across something you say about this book. We can talk about it in the comments. But if you haven't gotten this book, you're a fan of thrillers, or you're just a fan of a character-driven story, one that is going to connect with you emotionally, I think you would love this book. If only Marshall Karp had written this book about 30 years ago, where I might could have learned a thing or two, that would have been helpful. So, loved the book. I thought it was very well written. It had a nice, snappy pace, had great dialogue, lots of humor. None of it felt like it was reaching or too far-fetched, too over the top. It felt like it really could have happened. Something else that I really loved about this book is it had short chapters. Short chapters and me, I just don't know what it is. When it's a short chapter, I know I'm going to be able to finish it quickly kind of thing. I just don't want to put the book down. When I wasn't actively reading it, I was thinking about it. I was trying to figure it out. Just loved it. If you are a fan of audiobooks, I cannot encourage you enough to try the audiobook. The narrator is January Lavoie, who is one of my S-tier narrators. She is absolutely amazing. So y'all, I'm done. I'll gush about this book for the rest of the day. Don't Tell Me How to Die by Marshall Karp, published by my friends over at Blackstone Publishing. It came out March the 4th, so that means you can get your copy now when you finish it if you haven't already read it. Hit me up on any social media app of your choice. I'm the Nerdy Narrative everywhere. Let me know about your thoughts on the ending and how much of it you figured it out, if any at all. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening to this review. I hope I put this one on your radar. You will not be disappointed. I fully believe that with my whole heart. Again, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. This channel would not be what it is today without its patrons, especially those of my top tier: Ev, Sharon, Kate, Andrew, Amanda, Ann, Tara, Star, Gail, John, Chad, Heidi, and Wilbur.